Hey, everybody, welcome to the program, WRSA Radio. I'm your host, G1, as always. Hope you're having a good week. It's going to be a short show today because I've had the good fortune of working all week at my little part-time job. I have to take the hours when I can get them, so good for me, but not good for putting together quality content shows. So we're working with what we got today. With that, I will jump right into this one. It's not really a good topic, honestly. And not in terms of interest, but in terms of it's a sad topic. Over the last week, I've been really feeling the love for our English brothers and sisters, and I'm saddened by what I'm seeing happen in the place where England used to be. We've touched on the online censorship and outright arresting people for what they said online, the immigration issues. We've kind of gone over all that, so I don't feel like I need to belabor that point too much. But I've seen numerous videos this week about completely innocent people who've been harassed and, like I said, taken off to jail because they just voice their opinions in an online space. The tyrants that are acting in the name of the king have taken the position that these people who voice their negative opinion about censorship or immigration or whatever, or the rampant, vile acts of violence, murder, and rape that these filthy third world creatures are enacting on British citizens, they are somehow more of a threat and more of a source of social disruption and disorder than those very same acts of violence. It's worse to talk about these acts of violence than it is to actually commit them. It's beyond a tragedy. It's a suicide. We're witnessing a national suicide. And we're living through one here in the United States, but they're further down the path than we are. So I make this episode in the hopes that it will reach some of the people in the UK and that it will tell them that we stand with them. We support all of their efforts to repel the invaders and take back their country. Remove and replace your political representatives, oust your prime minister, sink the boats. Round up the illegals and send them home. Put the traitors on trial, convict them, and carry out the appropriate sentence. That is the only way that you are going to get your country back. I've said for some time that I believe that the fire will start in Ireland. It's not getting very much coverage in the world media or Western media, but there is a pushback, and there are reports of migrants self-deporting to get away from, what they're seeing coming. They're seeing the pushback. They're seeing this building fire in the Irish. And this is, more than an overreach, and the consequences are going to be world-shattering, what they're doing to these countries over there. Either way it turns out, I think it's a final battle for history. And I've also had the chance this week to watch a number of videos on the topic of British Empire. And I mean the classic, Victorian England that really brought civilization to most of the world. It's what makes this so epically gut-wrenching about the whole thing. And anyone who doubts the glorious and positive things that the people of the UK have done for humanity can just be shown countless photos of locations in Africa as they were 50 years ago at kind of the height of what the English had done, and then compare them to the photos of those same locations today. It's a stark difference. It's an indisputable fact that the empire created more benefit and lifted more people out of the mire of human poverty I think, than any other force in the history of mankind. It brought the written word to every corner of the globe. It educated countless millions of people. It provided a system of justice, system of courts, a legal framework, and political framework where little to none existed before they arrived. It provided stability to war-torn lands. It built infrastructure. It provided medical treatments, clean water, sanitation, and it created security across the waters of the oceans and seas, almost single-handedly, at least until the United States Navy joined in. Now, it was not always without cost. The empire is also guilty of some very harmful and negative things. Some of them may have even been, you could classify as outright evil. We can't deny that. But I make the argument that at least from the mid-1800s forward, that the net effect of the British Empire was positive. The very people who are now demanding to be allowed to live in England were the ones who benefited the most from these efforts. They come to England with their hands out, demanding more and shoveling guilt upon urban liberal white women who've henpecked their way into power in Western society. And those women have given in to that urge, and they've demanded that all of the fruits of Western civilization be handed over to these dirty, downtrodden, in this really vain effort to assuage the guilt that they have. But it's a guilt that you cannot satisfy. You'll never be able to give enough. You'll never give enough to the dirty, downtrodden, but you can't do enough to satisfy these guilty white women. You're bringing about your destruction and creating the ruins of your world. I think one day in the not too distant future, some traveler is going to be walking the fields of England, and among the fallen bricks and the shattered remains of what once stood will be a sign that will read, "Look upon our works, ye fascist, and despair." Of course, this traveler will have no idea what the words mean because they will be unable to read, but thousands and thousands of British men and women died to build the empire. They fought, they toiled, they picked up their earthly belongings, everything that they have. They got into rickety, leaky ships and traveled to the far-flung reaches of the earth to bring order and civilization to them. Such a price was paid, and now their descendants are giving it all away and destroying it. It's so just epically tragic. It's criminal. It's immoral. And it's ungrateful. Where's the lion? Where's the flower of Scotland? Where's Arthur? Where's the Red Hugh? Where are the men who will take a stand like those brave men of the 24th Foot who fought off the hordes of Zulu at Rorke's Drift? Where are those men? I pray to God Almighty that you find them and that they take to the streets and they put a stop to this. Take back your empire. Even though your empire may no longer stretch to every continent of the world cannot survive if the sun does set on the British Empire for good. So if you're listening to this, share this with everyone that you know in the UK. Maybe it takes the words of a humble southerner from the United States to stir the fire and move the waters over there. I don't know. Maybe it's just enough to get someone to awaken and say, you know what, this is enough. If people in America think that it's gone on for too long and far enough, then maybe we need to do something. We see little glimmers of this. We see pushback. We see people marching. It seems that the English people have had enough. I hope they have. I hope they stand up to this. And I pray that it's not too late. I don't know. Pass this program around, forward the links so that people will know it and hear it. That is all that I have time for today. Like and subscribe. Come see us over on Gab, Nice Crew, and the Cold Fury blog. And I'll see you on the next episode.